there's one problem. You have to be careful. What you should never do is never average the directions. You always get the wrong results. And I give you one example. So consider the situation. You have a flow that goes northward for 6 hours at a speed of 40 centimeters per second. Yeah, it's this red arrow here in this little sketch. And then it turns southward for another 6 hours at a speed of 20 centimeters per second. It's the green arrow. The direction is 180 degrees. So what's the average speed and direction of this flow? Can't you just average the directions? For example, it's just simply like this. You average the directions 0 and 180 degrees. You work out 90 degrees, okay, and submit your assignment, and it all turns out to be wrong, because a flow that only goes to the north and to the south on average can't all of a sudden start to flow eastwards. Okay, so this is rubbish. Never average direction. So how do you actually derive the average flow? And the way to do that with vectors is you always should average each vector component. Find the correct answer. So you have these two vectors, which are called u1 and v1 are the vector components of the first vector, which is written here. Okay, the first bit. And the second bit gives you the second vector. Okay, and you can see that the x component, the u, is always 0 because there is no flow to the east or to the west. And you have either flow 0.4 meters per second to the north, which is a positive number, or a negative number, which is to the south. And now if you average, you just have to average these components. Okay, and there's a little formula. And because the flow is exactly 6 hours in one direction and 6 hours into the other, you don't need any special weighting or so. You can just take the sum divided by 2. And if you do that, then you actually work out that the average speed is 0.1 meters per second, and the direction is still 0 degrees to the north. Okay, and you can display this, and I'll show you the solution. This vector here gives you the average flow. Okay, you might be still a little bit confused about why it's so small, but it's the trick here. You actually, you can't just average these two vectors. You also have to take into account that the red vector only operates over 6 hours, which is only half of the time of the 12 hours, and so does the green one. Okay, so this is a very, very important message here. Never average directions. Okay, you might come to some really interesting results, but scientifically it's total rubbish. Okay, so never do that.